Hello there, and welcome to My Living Room. I'm Kathleen Hershner. I'm joined now by a friend of mine who I met a couple of years ago on the radio, and I was really impressed with his positive energy and also his interesting job. He works in an area that I know very little about, but we're going to learn a bit more about the science of his company, Victolic. So I'd like to welcome Pedro Valcárcel to My Living Room. It's great to see you again, my friend.
Oh, nice to see you too.
You look very businessy today. You look like a salesman.
Yes. I'm a salesman. Really, you need a style for a salesman because you know when starting a meeting is with the workers or with the manager.
You never know.
Yeah, really. And no, sometimes if you are in an office, of course, all the people is technical managers, etc. Yeah. But if you are visited to the job site, the worker maybe is an engineer, because when I was a process engineer, my type of clothes is not this type of clothes.
Well, yeah, but you have to be prepared for meeting anybody from the CEO to like somebody working on machinery.
Yes, of course.
Well, before we talk a bit more about what you do and Victolic and your work as a sales engineer, refresh my memory a little bit about yourself, because we've only met a couple of times, but I liked you very much. And
I start with an intern, of course, in a chemical company.
Here in Spain?
Yes, in Spain, and we was in a R&D department, research and development department.
R&D,
yes.
And did you study engineering when you went to school?
Really, I studied engineering, but my specialty is chemistry.
It's chemistry?
Yes, chemistry.
Okay.
Because when I started to work, we searched in this R&D department new polymers based with acrylamide.
With a what?
Acrylamide, sorry.
Acclimatized?
No, acclimatized, no. No, it's normal we can talk about the scientific names. It's acrylamide. Acrylamide is a monomer, but we're searching new developments, new polymers based in acrylamide. When the scientific person, normally we think, when we are talking about polyacrylamide or polyacrylamide, cationic, anionic, or polyhydroxyl, aluminum, chloride, etc., it's a normal for all the people. And no, this is other language. The people think this type of words is a Chinese, and really it's worse because there are 1,000 million people from China, and how many scientific people are there in the world? Less, of course.
Well, so you guys all have to kind of agree on the vocabulary that you're going to use. It's like the vocabulary of a chemist is the table of elements, because all of these words like aluminum, chloride, sodium chloride, all these things.
And normally this type of product is for clean water. For
purifying water?
Yes, for purifying the water, the coagulants, the flocculants. Okay, but it's scientific, and normally you are read news about the relationship between or among person. You don't read any magazine about the scientific or the new discovery about the...
Well, I certainly don't. I'm reading Hola and USA Today. Tell me about when you were a kid. Did you grow up in Madrid?
Yes.
Okay, when you were a kid growing up here, were you one of these science nerds, these sort of sciencey kids who was always doing experiments at home and participating in science fairs and things like that? Was that the way you were when you were a child as well? Not that you're a nerd. You're not a nerd.
Yeah. Really, I working in with this type of product working in water, and we put several issues in magazines. But they talk about 8 years ago. Now I working in another area. It's a nice area for me. It's fire protection.
Fire protection?
Yes, the fire protection is very interesting because do you know all the place, all the cities, all the occupancies needs any fire protection.
Well, I remember talking about this before with you, the issue of fire protection. First of all, Victolic, do they specialize in fire protection?
It's specialized in couplings and fittings.
In couplings and fittings. And I think you told me it was a company that is from the United States,
Yes, of
but it
course.
has a European.
Yes, but really our war really is global war, and our company is a global company.
Okay.
Obviously, I depend of the headquarters from Europe, but the
Right.
company is from America. I did my trainings, one in Belgium and the others in America, in USA.
Oh, so 1 year you went to Belgium, and then where did you go in the United States?
And I was in Belgium, depends.
No, when you went to the
Yeah,
States?
okay, where, sorry.
Where did
sorry.
you go?
I went, sorry, in Ghent, near to the, Belgium is a small country.
No, but in the States.
No, in Belgium, in a state in Pennsylvania.
In
But,
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is a very nice.
It's a rural
It's a
state.
green.
It's a very green state. And you were there for how long? For a year?
No, only 2 weeks in the first training and 2 weeks the second one.
Oh.
No, 1 year. I like being in USA 1 year.
Well,
because
maybe if you stay with your company long enough, they will promote you and you can move to Pennsylvania.
Yes,
That might be nice. But tell me more about this fire protection thing. You've brought something with you today.
Yes.
It's show and tell here
Yes.
in my living room. And Pedro has been kind enough to bring 2 objects here. And before we started the show, you asked me, do I know what these are? And of course, I don't. I do now, but I didn't when I first saw them. What are those? They look like fuses to me.
Fuses. This is a sprinkler heads. These are classical sprinkler heads for residential areas.
It's a sprinkler head,
Sprinklers.
like for fire protection, like something from on the ceiling.
In the ceiling, on the
Okay.
ceiling, because this type of sprinkler is about a residential area or a hotels too, because you can see it's with a finish in chrome,
Yeah.
and really is this type of sprinkler is for quick response.
Can I touch it?
Yes, of course.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
No.
So this part here is brass.
Yes.
The part with the
Yes, this
threads.
part you need to thread, and with the wrenches tight.
Yeah. So
to
this
the-
is how you
Yes,
tighten.
you see there are 2 types of thread:
Right.
American MPT
Oh.
and European
Oh,
VHPT.
shouldn't they make it like one universal type? Wouldn't that be easier?
No, unfortunately.
And so this is the part where the water, obviously, the
Yes,
water comes
yes.
out.
And really, do you know this item working or not?
Do I know what?
Yes. Do you know this type of item working?
I've been in a hotel
Yeah.
when the fire alarm went off.
Yeah.
There was an actual fire in the hotel that I was
Yeah.
staying in, and these things are quite powerful. All of a sudden the hotel room was flooded with water. I mean, it has a fairly broad spray,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah. Really, it's a very interesting thing, because the people normally, when they know, they see the sprinkler, very nice.
I wouldn't know one
Beautiful,
sprinkler
but
head
what
from
is
another.
this? No, really, we have 2 type of sensor. This type in glass, the bulb.
The little red part
Yes,
in the middle there is glass.
It's glass.
Okay.
It's glass with a liquid.
Okay.
And this liquid, when the temperature is higher,
Yeah.
we have more pressure and finally break the glass.
So it's sort of like the sensor.
Yes.
So that when the building is hot enough,
Yeah.
this glass breaks and it sets off a chain reaction.
Yeah.
This is, of course, the user-friendly version
Yes,
of fire
yes.
safety.
Yes. Very good sales.
Well, I was a salesperson, you know. You have to learn quickly when you're in sales. Like, you already knew a lot about chemistry and
Yes.
engineering, but when you work for a company, you have to learn their product
Yes, of
inside
course.
and out.
Of course.
And quickly.
Of course.
And when you're talking to clients, you have to be very confident about
Yeah.
what you're discussing. What about this other one you brought there? Is this a different type than
Yes, it's a total different type of sprinkler.
It's bigger. I
It's
can
bigger.
see. I can tell.
It's for all. This is a new generation. This type of sprinkler, we can see first one. There's no glass.
There's no glass
It's
valve.
a fusible.
Okay.
And the concept, the technical concept is the same. With the temperature is increased, we can be a dilatation there, over there, and then this type of fusible break.
Well, so how does it sense the heat in a building? In order, I mean, if the glass one breaks and that starts the action, how does this bigger one? Can I hold it?
Yes.
It looks like some kind of weird modern art.
1 inch sprinkler that is a half
Okay,
inch.
so that's a heavy. But what in here is the intelligent part of this unit that makes it know when it's hot?
The black one is the intelligent part.
The black part. What is it?
No, but this plate is a metal. But this metal will have is really, you can see with the temperature are increasing.
Yeah.
The dilatation in the metal doing a big effort with the frame, and finally.
So you have a situation where the metal expands, and it breaks the bond.
You can see that when the sprinkler heads are open, all of these orifices allow all the water through this. And then, do you imagine this type of orifice at this other one?
I don't know, but just hold them still for a second. So
when this sprinkler is open,
I'm going to hold it so the
like
camera guys can get a picture.
Yeah.
So the difference is
the difference is the technical and the working is the same, but the difference is the type of commodity and type of height. Because this sprinkler is for sailing, for warehouse.
The bigger one?
Yes, up to more or less 13 meters. Okay. And the other one depends on the occupancy and the type of hazard, of course, but 5.5 meters, no more.
Okay.
Depends on the type of the drop, the amount of water.
All right,
well, it's a very interesting issue because I'm talking about the warehouse, talking about the hotels, hospitals, banks, chemical or power, oil and gas factories. In all these places need fire protection.
Well, let me ask you a question that I've mentioned to some friends. It's not a question, but I want to bring up something that I thought it was a bit unusual, and you're the perfect person to ask. When I came to Spain and moved into an apartment, I've lived in probably 9 apartments, 9 flats during my time here. A bit of a nomad, I guess. And I've noticed that there are not smoke alarms, you know, what we call smoke alarms. They are not, there has never been one. There's only been a smoke alarm in 1 flat that I've lived in. And all of the flats are fairly modern. I don't understand this because in the United States, it's against the law to have a building that does not have smoke alarms.
Yes.
In fact, you have to have a certain number in each room.
Yes, it's true.
What's going on in Spain?
It depends on the normative. Not Spain, it's Europe and America.
In Europe in general. Okay.
Where is the knowledge in fire protection? America.
Ah, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, sure, sure. The cars in Germany, but the fire protection, sure, in America.
The Germans are the automotive experts, absolutely.
But in America, the normative is different than Europe. In America, there are a normative.
The standards.
Yes, the standards for residential, for decorative, for warehouse, etc.
Okay.
In America, it's compulsory put sprinkler heads in residential areas, but not in Europe. No. This is the big difference.
Well, of course, your business, your company would love it if this became mandatory or compulsory, as you would say, because frankly, Pedro, it hasn't worried me because I don't live in worry. I'm not a fearful person. But I have thought that if I had children.
No.
I don't, but if I did, I thought, you know, I'd buy my own smoke alarms and install them. I think it's a bit odd that it's not required.
Yeah,
because, you know, we're all living in buildings. If one person is irresponsible in their flat and a fire breaks out in their flat, they're going to burn the whole building down, perhaps.
Yes, but it's true. This is true. This is the controversy here.
Is there a controversy here? I mean,
yes, because do you imagine? Of course, we can have in a hotel hooligans, for example.
Hooligans.
This type of hooligans break.
Delinquents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, really is a problem because the sprinklers is thinking for working in fire or when there is fire in
or
this,
when there's
this place.
Well, when there's how do I say this in English? When something is not normal in the environment of the home, the sprinkler knows it.
Okay, but do you know how many or how much money costs every damage about the fire, you know, or with the fire?
No.
With starting the fire, really, all the occupancy.
You mean what
It's
you're talking
burning.
about? What the cost of the damages are?
Yes,
for having
but these damages is only the price, the money, the issues, the furniture, etc.
Right, right.
But if we have to talk about the persons, because normally, or there are a lot of fires when it's not day, it's the night. And at the night, all the people normally are sleeping in your house. And at this moment...
I'm not sure I understand you about denied.
No, at the night, the people are sleeping in your house.
Well, obviously, you're talking about loss of life, and then you're also talking about, if it's a business, the loss of the business to continue operating. So not only do you have to count the material costs of the things that you lost, but also the risk of health and life to people. Maybe the costs for the city and the country and the state for having the firemen come to make a call.
But obviously, but normally when you do a call for the firefighting person, firefighting men,
the bomberos.
Yes, bomberos in Spain or in Spanish. Normally depends of the area, of course, but in 15-20 minutes, the firefighters arrive to the site. Okay, the sprinkler heads is working in 5 minutes.
Right.
Or better.
So this actually is helping the efforts of the firemen. It's not going to put them out of work, but it helps minimize the damage. And also, when they get there, their health is at risk because they're often the ones that have to go into a building where it's full of smoke.
Yes, but it's not easy. No, it's not easy really. It's a very security system. If there's no fire in this occupancy, it's very, very difficult. The sprinkler heads is open. The problem is with the vandalism. Okay.
With the vandalism.
But the vandalism.
People breaking windows, people breaking into buildings.
This problem in a hotel, vandalism in our house.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about needing not fire protection, but alarms, like a burglar alarm.
Yeah. But
does Victaulic do burglar alarms as well?
But burglar alarm, what is exactly?
A burglar is a robar, like
okay.
I don't know.
It's other,
a burglar alarm is like for theft.
Yeah, true.
Right.
But no, this is other area of the security. Normally in security, I have two areas: the activation and the security system. Security system, alarms, guards, etc., etc.
Okay.
And the other one in activation, we have the detection, electrical detection, for example, and with the other items with water. With water, this type of items. Right. And really, Victaulic is focusing in water.
In water.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've never talked at such length about fire protection. I've had some bomberos on the set here, but we don't talk about the specifics. It's a very interesting topic. You obviously go out into the world as a salesman and meet with hotel people and meet with business owners, and you probably are used to explaining how these systems work, but in what we would call layman's terms. When we say layman's terms, Layman apostrophe S. When you say that in English, it means in a way that normal people can understand, not professionals. A layman is not a professional.
Of course. But the people know this type of items when see in the movies, in the Hollywood movies. Right. Oh, what the problem? We have a problem in this. We have a bump in the building, and suddenly you can see water and water and Sprite. Okay.
Right. But so it's easy to explain what it is.
Yes. And with obviously all the computers, all the movies, we can a lot of movies because we can talk about these items 1 hour and finally the people I don't understand but I one only imagine I understand you. Okay.
Well, what was the movie with Bruce Willis that was so famous? He made several of them. It started out in Die Hard. And I think in Die Hard, I can't remember, I haven't seen it for a long time, but I think in Die Hard, they're trying actually to trip the system in order to create confusion. Or I could be wrong, but...
No,
this is, of course, a normal conceit in a movie.
Oh, and a very, very nice movie. It's a movie for the men, not for women, because it's action.
No, women liked it too. I mean, you know, I don't want a steady diet of this kind of thing, but it was an interesting movie.
Yes,
does Victolic are they ever asked by, we talked about Hollywood a couple times, are they ever asked by movie companies to provide fire security systems?
Yes. Not only Victolic, there are agencies for do approvals, because all this type of items needs approval. In Europe,
by who?
Approval, no, it's for agencies.
Oh.
They check, only is a check the sprinklers, because depends of the type of area. In residential area, the frame of the sprinkler is similar, but the concept is totally different than the decorative or in warehouse, because in a warehouse you need a lot of water.
Well, obviously, in a warehouse, if a fire breaks out, you have a lot more space to cover.
Yeah.
And because a warehouse is full of products that many are flammable, it probably...
Yeah, it depends of the type of the occupancy, of course. And depends, really, there's no one theory for them.
There's not what?
Theory.
Oh, there's no one theory.
Yes, because do you imagine, what is the way to put the package 15 years ago? Basically in water and no more. And now, plastic, carton, really, we have other type of hazard.
Well, you have to have different substances to fight different types of fires, like if it's an electrical fire, or if it's a hazardous materials fire, or a wood fire, which, of course, water would be sufficient. But isn't there like a chemical that is used for like electrical fires? Don't they spray foam on it or something?
Yes, in chemical factory.
I act like I know what I'm talking
about.
In oil and gas,
for example, the foam system is typical.
The what?
The foam system. Because the foam really is a stinger.
It's a stinker?
Yes. Yes, it's true. Really is a very big system to foam. Because do you imagine a tank in an oil and company?
Right.
The diameter probably 30 meters or more, and the height 50 meters or more. Really, how many cubic meters are there in this tank?
Yeah, and foam also must be a nightmare to clean up afterwards. I mean, I don't know if your company specializes in water.
We talk about other type of sprinkler heads. We talk about the open sprinkler heads or nozzles. Really depends of the type of. It's the same. We have a lot of studies about the angle, about the orifice, the pressure. There are a lot of concepts to manage for do any design.
Well, there's a lot of things people have to consider. I think we would call this shop talk. Shop talk is an expression meaning to talk about two people who know about the same thing and they're talking about it. In English, we'd say they're talking shop, meaning you're not trying to educate them like you're doing with me. You can skip all of that and go right into the specifics of the situation.
Of
Do you ever see yourself doing anything else with?
No, it's only.
Or do you like what you mean?
No, really, it's only an introduction to talk about the sprinklers, because it's an English program. It's not a fire protection program.
No, but it'd be kind of fun to have a fire protection program. I mean, I could foresee that you could have a short course on how to fireproof your home.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. But
and
this
you sell
is
the residential.
typical in America, but not here.
No. Hey, but see, Pedro, there is a market for you. It's popular in America, and it's coming to Spain.
It's my living, of course, because my life is sell this type of product, and more sell convince the people.
Well, you've convinced me of certain things, and that is that I need to go out and buy some smoke alarms for my home. And I've never learned so much about sprinkler heads within the context of fire safety.
Yeah, but
so thank you for coming. We are out of time. Pedro Valcárcel.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've done a very good job of explaining a complex subject to a simple mind.
Okay, you're welcome.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode in English here in my living room. We'll be back with more interesting talks about many different things with you very soon. So adios, hasta luego. Bye-bye.